Hi everyone, Kitty here. I hope everyone is doing well. I just got out of shower, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed after a long day of working and not much else. So I wanted to get right into it today and talk about OCD. So I know that I have OCD. I've had it for a while, for a long time. I'm 46. Probably started in my 20s where I really noticed it, but I do know I had it as a kid and in little bits and pieces, but I don't think I felt too anxious as a kid, but I really started getting anxious and didn't even realize it until my 20s, probably after college. And I remember with anxiety, I would go to see my then boyfriend, now husband, and have to travel an hour. I would leave work and I would have to pull over to the side of the road before I even got out of town and puke, have to throw up. And I didn't realize for years later that, Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, I was fine, but weekday mornings when I had to work, I would get up, and when I would go to brush my teeth, I would just have to puke, to vomit. And took me a lot of years to realize the aha moment. Oh, I have anxiety about having to go do things that I don't want to do. Not that I didn't want to go see my husband, but it was the travel that made me anxious. So anyway, OCD, that's a little more obvious. I knew I had OCD, and OCD stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. I'm very lucky that I don't have OCD in a very crazy manner like some people, and I don't mean crazy as in, very bad, but where it just makes you feel crazy and you can't stop and you feel like you're gonna hurt someone, or it's usually not about yourself. It's usually that someone in your family or a friend is, going to suffer if you don't do things the exact same way, or for the exact same number you're supposed to do it, or till it feels right. And I know some of you are going to understand what I mean by that. You don't really usually hear people describe OCD as feelings, but I'll explain a little bit of that. So I'm going to try to make this a little shorter video and ask some of you what things that you experience yourself. So a lot of times OCD it's just in your own head and you kind of live with it on your own, and no one else shares in your exact experience as you, and people don't usually really talk about it too much, so we're going to talk about it. A lot of people, you think numbers when you think about OCD, doing things in threes or whatever number. My number it's 8, but my favorite number is 7, and so the way I think about it is it's syllables, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I a lot of times have to do things in number 8s if I'm doing drops in something, or ice cubes in my iced coffee. So other things are routines. I do 3s. Sometimes it's a feeling. Putting on a toothpaste cap. It needs to click just right, and if it doesn't, I need it to click just right. That I can do just one time. But there's some other things like chapstick. I've been able to break this habit. Putting the cap on a chapstick. I don't know what it is about caps, but it's the things, it's routines, things you do. I used to have it click the right way, just the right feeling and the right sound 3 times in a row, the right way, and I could stop. So I did break that one, but I still like it to sound nice, feel good. So it's got to be the one time feeling good. So there are some things, that can get better. You can break, because OCD to me, it's habits. So it's about breaking some of these habits without fear that you're going to cause something out in the universe to happen, especially to a loved one. So a lot of it, like I said, is routine, placing things in a certain way, doing things in a certain order or in a certain way. So a lot of times if I find that I'm doing routines in a certain order, I do try to shake it up. So on a weekend, instead of washing my face first, I might brush my teeth first and then put my contacts in and then wash my face, or, try to change it up a little bit so that I don't form habit and start to obsess about how I do things. The other last thing that I'll talk about for myself are tics. I'm also lucky I don't really have audible or visible tics. I do know some people that do have both, actually. I know for me, it's usually in my throat. It's about forming words, and I've broken that one pretty much. But once in a while, I find myself, if I'm saying the word sentences, I have to go over the word one more time and enunciate sentences, and actually every single syllable and sound, and even it gets, it can be very tiring and exhausting when you live life like this, everything you do. So try to get out of the habit. So one of my things that I wanted to ask for you guys is, how do you cope with your OCD, your habits? One analogy I heard is that you are on a train with that habit or these thoughts, and you jump off the train and you watch the train roll away with those thoughts, with those habits, with those fears. And, my other thing is not coping, it's for future planning, is to not start new habits. So when I catch myself, I kind of jumped on that a little bit earlier. When I find myself starting a new habit, I have to really check myself and make sure that I don't follow that path. I will tell you one more thing that I can't break. I really have to work on this. And I wonder if anybody else in the world has this same one, but it's around toilet paper and how it rips off of the roll and how it feels, where it rips, if it breaks. I get the cheap Scott, one-ply toilet paper type, and it is not always cut in the right place or, perforated completely. So that's one that really bothers me. I probably waste more toilet paper than I need to because I have to keep ripping a new sheet or two sheets until I get the right cut or feel. So, maybe some of you will relate. Maybe some of you have the toilet paper thing. I would love to hear about that one. Because I do feel completely weird and alone on that one. So I do want to know, what are some of your habits or numbers or things, routines? How do you cope? So please do like and share and let us all know, because your comment might help someone today. So it's been nice talking to you. I wish you all the very best and very well.